Boys, how are we doing? Today's video, cultivating a winner's environment. I want to talk to you about something I read in a book a while ago. I'm pretty sure it was Psycho Cybernetics. Great book. Should highly recommend. I'm actually going to make a video on the top 5 books I've ever read, and that is in there. So we will go into that. But there was one thing that I remember. It might have been in another book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I can't actually remember. One thing I remember is about accessing the winning feeling. It actually was in Psycho Cybernetics. And it was called having that winning feeling every single day. You must feel like a winner to consistently keep winning. And I'm going to explain this and why we should be cultivating a winner's environment and making sure that this is at the forefront of our life. This is how you succeed. And this is something I've learned. This really does improve your life. So stay with me now. But we'll start things off going through the quote. Winners win and losers lose. You ever heard that quote? I'm sure everyone has. Winners win and losers lose. And the reason is simple. Let's talk about losing. When you keep losing, it is very simple to feel like a loser. It's easy because you keep the momentum of losing and you keep this vicious cycle of self-destruction. Personally, I like to call it the fuck it mindset. It's like, okay, I went out and drunk a lot of alcohol. Next morning, I'm hungover. Now we're going to fuck it mindset. Okay, well, we're hungover. Let's just order a takeaway. Okay, let's now just stay inside all day and not move. Okay, that's normal. That's a hangover. Fair enough. But then it's just like the cascading. Okay, the next day, let's take it easy. We're still recovering and stuff. And it's just like one L breeds more L's. And I'm not saying that happens, right? People do that, but that's just a perfect example. Okay, and it's just like with anything, it's like if you're just getting fucked at work, and then you just decide, okay, now I'm not going to go to the gym. Now I'm not going to go for that run. Now I'm going to just spend all night just not sleeping properly. I mean, it's just like L after L after L, and then it's just a case of like, right, one thing goes bad, might as well make it worse, right? But we know that's just not the right way to do things. So we've got one thing straight there. There's momentum in anything you do. So let's just fucking turn that around and realize losing breeds more losing, right? Just as winning breeds more winning. So to get the bigger wins in life, you simply need to feel like a winner at all times, even when you lose. Think about that. Now, if you feel like a loser, then you will act like one. But if you feel like a winner, you will act like one. So how do you access that winning feeling and keep it forever? Well, you need to start actually celebrating your wins and recognizing them. Now, very easy way to do this on a daily basis is to collect small wins. Small wins in 2 different ways. So first off, we can talk about the morning routine. This is like a micro way of thinking about things. So the minute you wake up, you need to be collecting wins. It's the way dopamine is released. It's the way you feel good. Easiest way to start your day and become a loser is go on your fucking phone and then sit in your bed and do nothing. Best way to feel like a winner, get out of bed as soon as that alarm goes off. Put the alarm over there so you don't have to fucking be able to snooze it. Turn Hey Siri off as well. I found that tactic as well. Make sure you snooze it. Then you jump in the shower. Then you brush your teeth. Then you make your bed. 3 wins. Boom. Hydrate. Read 5 pages. Have a coffee. To-do list. Get to work. 7, 8 wins. Now you're cooking on gas. Now you've got momentum. That's how you start the day and feel like a winner. But now how do you feel like a winner on a daily basis? Okay. Set 5 non-negotiable tasks that you need to do. I have my whiteboard right there. One of them was film a YouTube video. Bang, done. It's 10 a.m. Finish educational library. Done that as well. 5 tasks that you know you can do that will progress you and make you better for the day. If you do those, you become confident. Why? Because you got your wins for the day. And if you consistently get those wins, you keep winning. And deep down, you know you're a winner. You've accessed the winning feeling. And that's when momentum strikes. That's when everything comes together. So we need to collect small wins every day. We write 5 non-negotiables and no more. I'm going to explain why. In fact, I'll explain why right now. When you set more than 5 non-negotiables, which is what I used to do, I had a to-do list that was just down here. It was like, 15, 20 items. What will happen is you will never, ever feel like a winner. The reason why is because you will not tick all of it off. And then even if you've had an amazing day, you've progressed everything, you fucked yourself. And the reason why is because you just put so many tasks on there that it's now really difficult to see yourself as a winner because you didn't complete everything you said you were going to do. But what you actually did was just shoot yourself in the foot from the start because it wasn't physically possible. So you need to be realistic and realise there's actually a method called the Ivy Lee method. It says 6 tasks per day maximum. Once those tasks are done, go enjoy yourself. Do whatever you want, because at the end of the day, we're here on this earth to enjoy ourselves as well. It's not all about just growth. You need to be moving forward every day, but it doesn't have to take all day. As long as the 6 tasks are done, you're sweet. What's 6 times 7? 42. 42 times 4. 168. 168 tasks get done over the month, right? That's fucking growth to me, as long as those are good needle-moving tasks. Whereas, if you just set 20 tasks on a day and you don't get them complete, like, it's just going to create this reverse effect where you're not completing your tasks, you feel shit. So just make sure that you're not setting things up. I'm going to tell you a story. When I started my business back in 2023, there were days when I made insane amounts of money. Like, for reference, by the way, when I was at university in May 2023, I earned £400 a month. It's like $500 a month. There was one day I made 2.5k pounds, £2,500 in one day, which is like 3k USD. So that is fucking what, like 6 times my monthly income in a day, and I still didn't feel like a winner or anything. Why? Because I had this massive to-do list of things. I was like, okay, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And I'd go to bed stressed and feel like shit. And as a result, what this did, I just basically, after weeks on end and months, just felt like a loser because I just felt like I was always behind. I never actually felt the self-accomplishment and the satisfaction that you should be getting from completing these tasks. And it's just so important. And I will explain the theory behind this, but we need to commit to these non-negotiables and get them done without fail. And as time goes on, we get better and better, and the momentum of winning will eventually course through the veins. You'll feel it, and it's an amazing feeling, if I'm being completely honest with you. Everything just clicks, which is why every single day you must have 5 non-negotiables. Even on the days when you're hungover, right? Let's say you've gone out on Saturday, it was a mate's birthday, you drank too much or whatever. Still got to be 5 non-negotiables. Okay. It might not be crazy ones, but just anything that can get you better. Okay, 10k steps. Let's do our cardio today. Let's plan the week out. Let's make sure we meal prep for the week. Let's read 10 pages. All of that can be done when you're hungover, realistically. So that's a perfect example of just this consistent winning feeling. When you take a day off and you really don't do anything, then you risk momentum. You risk losing that winning feeling. It feels nice to be a winner. So do that. And we adopt this mindset of everything do. So yeah, this is my 5 non-negotiables. I wrote this today. So finish the education library. I'm actually going to give that a tick. Film 2 or 3 new YouTube videos. This is the second YouTube video. Train pool. I've got that next. Hit 30 minutes of cardio, 10k steps. Speak to my accountant and manage my finance. If I do all of those, I've won that day. And then I do it again tomorrow. I win that day. And eventually I win the week. Eventually, if I win enough weeks, what do I do? Win the month. Momentum. I feel amazing. If I do all of these, day feels like a massive W. So remember, it's easy to keep on winning when you're already winning. When you're losing, life is hard. You get more tired. That's where you get burnout, when you're losing. But if you're winning, you don't get fucking burnout. You just keep going. And this is why if you're struggling right now and you feel like a loser, you need to just start collecting W's. Begin momentum with domino effect. And dependent on where you are on this kind of pendulum is basically speaking to the size of a win you need to collect. For example, if you've been winning for a while, then you can go and chase the bigger goals. You can go for 5 YouTube videos in one day because you know that's not going to deter you because you've been doing 1 YouTube video per day or whatever before. However, if you're someone who's just coming out of a rut, you've been losing, you need to start with the small wins. I'll give you a perfect example as well. Over Christmas, I went into a little bit of a rut. Reason why, I took 2 weeks off and just did nothing. Quite nice actually. I had a little bit of a reset, but it was just so hard to get back into my routine. So my wins were really small. My wins were like, just go to the gym today, get your steps in, mate. Plan the week out, post an Instagram post, and it's just like that. Those are my non-negotiables that I do regardless. Now those are like small wins. Once I got them back in the game again, then everything else became easy. Then I could scale it a little bit more. So make sure you're collecting small wins, and again, these wins should be every single morning. Like, I think I explained it here. It's very easy to collect 8 wins like that first thing in the morning if you're thinking about it and you understand and you realise that what you're chasing when you get those wins, the winning feeling, is worth it. That's why people don't have a morning routine or don't actually do the things they know they should be doing in the morning, because they underestimate what the feeling is like when they do all of those things. Now, think about this. Think about how your day would go if you just got up first thing, instead of going into the shower and then doing everything you need to do. You just got up, grabbed your phone, went back to bed. I'm saying this because I've done this before. Scrolled through Instagram, and you just started looking at stuff before your brain's even up for the day. You've literally just signaled to yourself subconsciously, without even thinking, that you do not give a fuck about yourself. Reason why? Because you're not even gonna focus on your personal hygiene, you getting ready, you having a good mindset, you hydrating for the day. You're more interested in what on earth is going on in other people's lives. You're more interested in Chloe being in Ibiza, or what fucking Kanye West tweeted last night. It's like, it just shows you're living life in like the fucking, like there's a slow lane. You're just interested in other people's lives. It's like you're just a spectator. It's like, just fucking think about yourself and just focus on your goal. Joe Rogan said it perfectly. Live your life like there's a documentary crew filming everything that you do. And it's just like, I'd stop watching instantly if the guy's just going to fucking sit there and just go on his phone and scroll on Instagram to wake up in the morning. Mate, attack the day. And when you do that, you're going to feel so much better. But when you do things like this, then you're going to feel like shit. So come on. Like, if you care about yourself, then you won't do those things. You'll collect wins and then everything becomes easy. For example, today I've smashed a bunch of tasks. And the reason why, my morning routine was perfect. I got up early in the morning. What did I do? Brushed my teeth, jumped in the shower, put my gym fit on, grabbed a coffee, went straight to the laptop. Then read some pages. We're all good. Now we're cooking on gas. So that's kind of the winning feeling and why you need to be accessing it. Now I want to talk about one last piece of advice, the abundance mindset, which I made a video on, but we're going to go into it a little bit because it does correlate. To win, you must operate from a place of abundance and not scarcity. And what this simply means is focusing on and feeling that you have a lot in your life, rather than it being negative and thinking that you do not have things going on. Perfect example is time. And I've just really focused on this one because it does make sense when you think about it. No one really thinks they're abundant in time, and instead time's scarce because they're realistic. There's a lot of things going on, and as a result, we're running out of time. Everyone wants more time, right? But what does that do to your mindset? You're always on the back burner, on defense. The clock, that little fucker, is beating you. And you're always rushing and you feel behind. You feel like if you do not hit your task for the day, because you set 15, like I told you, you're a loser. And you create this false image of yourself that you're losing, when in reality, you're just running yourself too thin and you are biting off more than you can chew. Think of yourself as abundant in time, calm and collected, and you will feel like a winner. Think of that way, right? Story time again. I was in Bangkok in September. I was struggling with all of these things, which is why I'm making this video. I'd always like to talk about my struggles so someone else can, use those to their advantage. I'm speaking to the younger version of myself. I met a guy, Alberto, great guy. We just chatted for 3 hours. Really good mindset, amazing guy. He was smashing it. And I told him about a few things that was kind of going on. And I said, I'm always just kind of feeling burnt out at the end of the night. Like I feel like there's so much to do and I'm not doing them. And he said something to me and he said, it's because your actions don't align with your vision. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, I want to become this person. I want to become this extremely successful person. You have to think, does that successful person of you really stress about little things like this? Or does he have a relaxed evening routine? Does he not stress because he knows he did his hard work today and he knows tomorrow he's going to do it again? And when I started to think about that, I realised, shit, he's absolutely right. You want to be abundant in time, calm and collected, and realise that you run the day. The day does not run you. You choose when things happen. If you need to move something to tomorrow, so be it. The most important thing is that we're abundant in time. We do things slowly. We stay present and we enjoy life. If you're consistently rushing and you're trying to just complete things, you're in a place of lack. You're operating from a place of scarcity. And this is not where you want to be. Because a place of scarcity is the negative frequency. That's not where you want to be. You want to be in a place of abundance because that's where the power is. That's where you feel amazing. That's where you feel like a winner. If you're scarce, you feel like a loser. And I'm telling you this because I've done this. I have and often still work from the hours of 5 a.m. until 10 p.m. and overwork myself. Why? Because we all want more. We're human. We are wired for overexpansion. But sometimes less is more. And you need to remember that. And abundance is simply focusing on what we have, not what we do not have. So that's a very key example when it comes to time. Try not to run yourself thin. Try to prioritize peace of mind, especially from a creativity standpoint. I'm telling you this as a content creator. I realize now that when you're consistently doing things, you don't get the breakthroughs that you deserve and need for your business or whatever you want to improve on to grow. The reason why is because you never give yourself time to think. Matt H. Gray, really good lad, talks about strategic laziness. It's very smart. It's where you just wind down in the evenings, switch everything off, do a little bit of admin work on the laptop, and just give yourself time to think. Let your mind wander. And often, that's where the breakthroughs come through. It's crazy how it works. It's insane. And this is something I remind myself all the time, but honestly, changes my life. Cardio is another vessel for me that does this. I spend half an hour just thinking. I go for long walks as well. It's honestly one of the best methods you can ever do. Just letting your mind wander and focusing on this and being abundant in time. It's why when you go to places early, I used to be so bad with time. I'd be late for everything. I understand the importance of this now. And it's why you feel good when you go to like a meeting or something early. Why? Because, you know, that time doesn't run you. You run time. The clock strikes when you fucking tell it to. That's what Tommy Shelby said in Peaky Blinders. Remember that one. The clock strikes when you fucking tell it to. It's a great way of thinking about things. And again, abundance is focusing on what we have, not what we do not have. If you're chasing a goal, a new house, a new car, certain revenue per month, whatever it is, and you use lack as your fuel, it can work as a good source. However, if you stay there for long enough, you're in a place of scarcity. If you consistently focus on what you do not have and what you are chasing, you forget to appreciate what you currently do have, which means you have just created this model that is unsustainable. You think this is what's going to give you happiness. Well, when you get that goal, you're still going to be in that frame of mind. You're going to have that way of thinking that you're going to just want more and more and more. You know, the person who's in first class already dreams of being in the private jet, just as the person in business class dreams of being in first class. The person who has a Mini wants a Ford. The Ford wants an Audi. The Audi wants an Aston Martin. The guy who's just walking wants a car. And the guy who doesn't have legs wants to walk. Think of it that way. You always want more and more and more. And you forget to realise, what the fuck do you have? Like you got things. And you got to be, everyone has something to be grateful for. And when you shift the paradigm, you go from scarcity to abundance, you realise, okay, I might not have certain things yet, but we do have these things. Then everything changes. Why? Because you're still chasing the goal. The goal is still there. We're still chasing it, but we're thinking from a different level. We're thinking from abundance. We focus on what we have and how nice it would be to have that. But we've already got these things. And there's just so much reason behind this. You know, if there's a God up there, universal intelligence, and they look down on this person who's consistently wanting more and never appreciating what he's got, why on earth would you give him more? And that's what you're telling yourself there. So it's why you need to be abundant. And I'm telling you, when you have the abundance mindset, you feel like a winner by default. Abundance is the key to winning. Everyone will tell you that, but that's the reason behind it. And this is a sustainable model to be happy, because you don't let outcomes and goals decide your happiness. You can be happy right now. It's just in your head. Everything's in your fucking head. And if you can change that, everything changes. I'm extremely happy right now. Potentially there's things that I want to improve in my life, but that's not going to change my level of happiness. Why? Because you have to work hard to figure out your happiness inside. Simple as that. Now, chasing abundance allows us to appreciate what we have. The fact that you have family, friends, a roof, health, the ability to train. Challenge for anyone, a little exercise. I want you to watch a show on Netflix. It's called Sintonia. It's really, really good. It's about like these guys in Brazil coming up favela. One of them turns into an MC. One's like a big drug dealer. And it's just basically like these kids who grow up and just shows like how their life goes on. I'm not going to spoil anything. But one of the key things that I learned from that is, in pursuit of all of their goals, a lot of the core messages were, the main thing they had was kind of relationships and just good friends and family around them. That was what's really cool. And you realise, as long as you got these things, then fucking hell, nothing matters. That's what you need to be happy. Good health, good family, good food, good music. That's all you need. And then anything else is just extra. And when you think like that, I think you can feel like a winner all the time. And then when you feel like a winner, more things come. That's what I found, at least. Could be wrong. Let me know your thoughts. But that's how we act like a winner. And cultivating that environment, cultivating that mindset, and stacking those wins and accessing that winning feeling is the key to life. Remember this and you will succeed. I hope that was useful, guys. Poured my heart out into that one. So, I hope that was useful. I'm going to make one more video. But other than that, boys, I'll be back tomorrow. Let me know what you thought of that in the comments. Any advice, any criticism, any feedback, you know where to find me. Other than that, boys, catch you on the next one. Take it easy.